Well, welcome back to the mud shop. I'm going to do a kiln opening today. There's been a lot going on since I was on last. The last glaze fire I did was in April, the end of April, the 26th, I believe. But since then, I've had kiln maintenance done and done a test fire, and now this is the first time my test fire I did a bisque fire. And actually didn't let it get all the way to top temperature, and I kicked it off, just checking, make sure the elements were good and anything else needed pinned down. But I'm getting ready to open it. I did open and peak. Everything is cooled down. It's at 68 degrees in here in the shop, and that's what the kiln is. And I did look in one day right after it fired and check, and I did have a piece that stuck to the shelf because it did get a little hotter than I normally fire. I did a cone 5 fire with a 20-minute hold because I like to hold it so that top temperature has time to even out through the kiln. And I went ahead and did a 20-minute hold, and ended up a little hotter than I normally do, so it's right at a cone 6 according to the witness cones on the top. Now I put witness cones all through it. I don't always do it this way, but this time, first time reaching top temperature since I changed the elements, I did. So let's open up and see what we've got. I've got 2 pages of notes to kind of help me know what colors are on everything, and this is how I'll write my notes and keep up with what I've got. And so let's open it up and see what we got. At the top, I did fire some beads, and I know I didn't have enough room for my tall bead tree, so I did these where I kind of put them on these little posts, and I spaced them out so that they're evenly on my rod, so I don't have to worry about it being the rod. These are a little bit heavier beads, so you can't just put them in the middle and do this because it'll sag. So getting started on beads. These beads go with the little owls that I've got inside. You'll see when I get to them. I had 2 sets of posts that I used to fire, and these are the other beads. You see how I had them. Of course, they weren't touching in the kiln. All right, so these beads just slide right off the rod. Now, there's been a lot of questions through the pottery people online wanting to know about the rods. These rods came with my bead tree, but I have replaced several of them. You see they're kind of warped a little bit. These have been fired, I know, 20 times or more. And if they get a bead stuck to it, I throw it away. And anyhow, they're 10 gauge, and I get these at my local supplier, which my local supplier is on the Gulf Coast in Biloxi at Dogwood Pottery Supply, because that's where I go. You can't order from them online, but these are 10 gauge rods. All right, here we go. Here is the witness cones from the top. Let's see if I don't drop them. This is 4, 5, and 6, and you see I did get a cone 6. So I don't think it went above 6, but there's my cone 4, 5, and 6. 4 is laying all the way down. 5 was resting on there, and 6. And I will keep those. I'll wipe my shelf off of all the ones from the previous elements, and I'll start keeping track of these. Okay, also my little owl pieces I fire on these. It's called a bed of nails, and I just lay them on here. I'll show you, just pick it up. And now if you have a matte glaze, they don't stick to the nails as bad as if you have a gloss glaze. But I always just take my Kemper stone and smooth off the part that's touching these nails to make sure there's nothing. Now these are my owl feet that'll dangle And this is the piece that looks like a pig snout, but it's not. It'll go this way. Chain go from inside the owl to this, from here to this. And I'll do a little video, short video, when I get them all together. All right, that's these pieces. And it's the same thing on this other one. So, and you see, these pieces just lift right off. They're not stuck. And these bed of nails, I've also fired 20, 30 times or more. All right, here is a little Mississippi. It'll be an ornament or a keychain. I'll put a little ribbon on it, and you can use it for either one. And because I glaze both sides, I fire it on stilts, and it just lifts it right off. Okay, now we're getting into the little bells. This one is texture amber brown, and this is Amico glaze. This is Amico's ochre, and this is Mako Stroke and Coat's yellow. I think it's like the sunburst. It is sun-kissed yellow on here. Now I make, let's see if I can get the light just right to shine inside there. I make a loop in here already made into it. See the loop? And I'll hook my chain to this, and then to the little snout looking piece, and then from the snout to the little feet. All right, this is Smoky Merlot. This is lavender, and again the sun-kissed Stroke and Coat. And these are Amico glazes, except for the Stroke and Coat. That's Mako. And my last one, let me look on my notes. Let's see, which color did I put on this owl? This is, I believe it's, okay. I tried the Micro Jade and Ivy. Micro Jade and Ivy. And I like that it's kind of a, you can see it's kind of variations on it. It kind of looks a little blurry. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I like that. And again, it's got the loop in it. Now I dry foot these. I'll wipe the glaze off of it and just fire it sitting on the shelf. It's fine for outside. I've got some hung outside I've had for 5 years, and they're fine. Now with our climate, I don't bring mine in the wintertime. We're in South Mississippi. It only gets cold a few days during the winter, and then it warms back up. It does not stay below freezing for any long period of time. Okay, I did fire this mug topper on stilts because I wasn't sure how this glaze, if it might run or if this might warp some. So I did fire it on the stilt. Look, this is a mug set. Oh, I love how that looks on the inside. Look at there. Ooh, these crystals. All right, this is part of my Mississippi set. There's the Mississippi on top. Let me look and see what colors I put on here. I did try a lot of the new Mako colors. Let me find the mug. Mako Shino and Desert Dusk. Wow. And I like them. Mako Shino and Desert Dusk. Now these are both Mako glazes. Here's my little stamp on the bottom. I love the way that is on the inside. It's just like all those crystals. Mako Shino and Desert Dusk. This is Mako Shino on top, and I did do Mako Light Flux around the rim. There's your Mississippi. How about that? Nice size mug. You can hold it however you like to hold it. I hold mine like this. There you go. All right, I better speed this up some. All right, here's the shelf down. post pickup. I had a request to make a garden bell, and I fired all the pieces on. Here's another bed of nails. I'll be tapping this again in just a second. I don't want to break it. Here's the wind catcher that'll be on it. She requested just the dark blue and white. So that's the wind catcher. Here are the pieces that I'll use on the top. I just did a bead with a little blue flower on it, different shaped beads. This will work to put them all together. And here's the bird that'll go on top. Let me tap it to get it. Okay. Got the hole all the way through, and see, I'll take my Kemper stone and smooth these out. Now you can sand it down with whatever you have, but that's my little pinch bird to go on top. All right, let me show you the bell. It'll go with it. And here's the bell. It'll go with it. Now you might be able to see the loop in here easier because it's a light color. You can see the loop right there. And I just roll a coil and put it in when I make it. So then I just hook my chain, and I use the ball chain. I get it by the roll from Amazon, and then that way I don't have to worry about twine rotting it after a while and it breaking. And you can use a garden hook to hang these. It's very sturdy handle, and that's the way I hang mine. I've had them on twine before. The twine dry rots and I lose my piece, so that's how I do it now. Okay, let's see. All right, my first extruded pieces. This is an extruded tube, and I just bellied out to make it a little wider than the extruder does. And this is ancient copper and texture turquoise. Both of these are Amico glazes. Texture turquoise on the inside. This is just a little bud vase. Very cute little vase. And this copper turned out gorgeous. Right. Now, I said when I started the video, here's another piece I did in the blue and white. When I started the video, I mentioned about one that stuck. The other little bud vase is what stuck. So I'll pull it up next, and we'll look at it. Now I will have to grind a little off my shelf or tap it. Most of the time you can just tap it and it come off. But and I can use my diamond core disc, sanding disc on my wheel, and smooth this out, round it out, and it'll still be good. But oh, this is my green peacock is what I call it. I use stroke and coat different shades of blues and greens. Then I put ivy over it, which is Amico glaze, and then I dip it in a dip and pour lily of the valley, and the inside is also lily of the valley. And with the Amico colors with the peacock, you do dots of the colors, and then you just brush over the flux, and or you can put most people do the flux in use, but you can also brush it on. And I like how it did the little runs there, and see where it ran here. See how it got here to the edges, and it just got too far on this and touched the shelf. So, but that can be sanded down, no problem. I'll work on it. All right, the same colors is this. Now I made this for my daughter-in-law, and this is a second fire on this because when I did it, I forgot to put the ivy on it, and I just didn't like the way it looked, so I went back and put more ivy on top of it and refired it. Now you say, what is this? My daughter says that looks like a funky teapot, but it's not. It's a solo cup holder. When we have cookouts, barbecues, or whatever with the family, you put a stack of solo cups on here. You put your marker here or your pen, and they get a cup, write their name on it, put the marker back, and then the next one gets theirs. But it's just a little station there for the drink cups, and this was made specially for her. I do have a hole in this one because it is hollow inside. See, this is just like a cup that's closed on the top. It's not open inside, it's closed there because I didn't want the pen to fall in it. So all right, let me put this over here. Okay, next we have all right, this one, amaryllis on the top, and this is pink opal. Amaryllis and pink opal. And this is just a little vase. It could be used as a drinking cup, but it's actually a vase. You can also put a candle in it. It'd be nice. And it's part of my Mississippi line. All right, here's another little bell. DayLaDesignGifts.com sells clay cutters, cookie cutters that she makes off a 3D printer. She makes a salt and pepper shaker that would be this size without the handle. You put the holes in it. This piece fits in here, and it's like a magic shaker. And I took these cutters and I made a bell out of it. So I put a handle on here. I rolled my little loop down here. The inside piece will hang here. And this is Amico's Colors, Ancient Copper, and Texture Turquoise. And you see the texture turquoise does not cover your texture on there. It shows out pretty well. Here's another one of the bells that I made. You can see the loop in this one, it's white, so it shows up better. And I used Stroke and Coat colors to kind of flood in the texture. This texture also came from Daylight Design Gifts. It was a roller, and I just rolled it on and got the little flowers on the inside part. And this'll, and again, you can use these hang with a garden hook. And I just put clear over the top. I use Clayscapes Crystal Clear. It's a dipping glaze. I get all my stuff painted on it, and then I just dip it, and I'm done with it. All right, tried something myself. I took a plate holder, pitcher holder stand, the wood ones that fold, and I made one of these. I've actually got a couple more made. They're drying, so that I can stand my own plates up and don't have to buy any more. They get expensive. So this is my little plate stand. All right, and I'll be making a lot of those. Okay, here is another Mississippi cup. All right, this one also stuck just like the little vase did. These were the same colors as the vase. I love the colors. And here's the lid. The lid warped, so I'll have to remake the lid. Yeah, I'll remake that, no problem. I'll just throw this one away and make another one. But this one will have to be ground down and rounded off. And this might be one I keep here for me, and I'll remake one to put in the store. Okay, yay, my tribal mug made it. It's also the same colors. This is my green peacock. So again, Lily of the Valley dipping glaze, ivy, stroke Stroke and Coat Colors and Mako Light Flux. And this has a top. You put a straw in here to drink out of, or you can drink out of it like this, or you just use the straw. Okay, and this one came out well, but you see I stopped this up here and I left the bottom just the Lily of the Valley. All right, another bell. All right, this is Lily of the Valley and a little bit of Mako Flux on the top. Look how that ran. I like how it kind of feathered looking right there. Let's see. And here's the inside piece. I made several of those last year and they all sold. Here's another one. This is Lily of the Valley, and this lid did fine. All right, Lily of the Valley on here, and this is Ivy. Okay, last piece on here, I fired it. Pull these stilts off. Okay, and again, I'll use the Kemper Stone. Yes, it works. This is my rain stick. And I put lugs on the top of it. I can put a leather strap on it. Colors for the rain stick. Let me find it. I use micro ash and micro pearl. Micro ash and micro pearl. And it did not matter that these were not food safe because this is a rain stick. Nobody's going to be eating out of it. All right. This was very fun to make. Okay, now to move this shelf off. Good place to grab it. Now here I'll show you. You see where it's stuck to this. I'll take it outside, and usually I can tap it and a lot of that will come off on its own, and what doesn't, then I will grind it off. Never brush it off with your hand because it will slice you like crazy. Ask me how I know. Or don't. Okay, let me get these posts out. Out of the way. Okay. All right, I made a little garden mushroom to put in my little flower pot. I was going to see how that turned out, and it did well. I'll make a few more. And this is, the stem is micro ash, and then I use Stroke and Coat for the top. And the micro ash is just like a satin glaze. Got a little bit of a shine to it, but not much. And I fired it on the little tiny bed of nails. And like I say, I've used some of those bed of nails, and every time I fired, and I fired 139 times. So if that'll tell you anything. All right, I'm working on stuff for Christmas. I made little crosses. They'll be ornaments, and I fired them. Since I used up all my bed of nails, I just put these two together, laid it across the top, and fired it that way. So this is cream from Clayscapes Dipping Glaze, and the outside of it is ancient jasper. Gives it like almost like a gold color onto it. And again, you see the spots, I'll sand them down. They'll be smooth when I get through. Kemper stone, gotta love it. Okay, here we have some, let me get, here are the witness cones for the middle. And again, 4, 5, 6. It's pretty even. It's the same as the top, so I'm pleased. I was worried that this tells me that it fired evenly. It got a little too hot, but that's because I did a longer hold. All right, again, I have the green peacock glazing on here. Again, it's the same combination of colors. The only difference on this one is 112 clay, which is a speckled buff clay. So I use standard brand clays. This is a Mississippi bowl. See how deep it is? Mississippi bowl, or a candy dish. And you see the back of it, you can see the speckles. And this is the difference of the ivy on the speckled, the lily of the valley on the speckled, and the lily of the valley on the white clay. You see the clay showing here. You see the difference in the shade of it. But that glaze did great even on the speckle buff clay. All right, here is a little spoon rest. Same colors. You see. It looks like a Mississippi day in this kiln. All right, let's see. I did these dishes. I've got 2 of them, one in green and one in blue. Let me find them on here. Make sure I give you the correct colors that I have. Maybe I can find it. Maybe I can't. All right, let's see. All right, I used ivy and then the speedball clear over the decal. This is sandbow decal. It's an underglazed decal. Once you get it bisque fired, you put, no, I put this on the green clay when I make the plate. So, and this is my Mississippi plate. And the blue one is blue rutile with the underglaze transfer in the middle. It's blue rutile all around it. And then on the inside I did the speedball clear. Very pretty, they turned out well. All right, let's get some more shelves down. And my elements look great. Sometimes when you change your elements, once they're heated up the first time, they may buckle. These did not. They look real well. Okay, some more of the sandbow underglaze decals. I put on this, and then I even stuck some on the back. And I used black underglaze around the rim. And then I did the speedball clear over everything. And I left the outside, I just put the clear on it. You can see it's shiny. And the underglaze decals do not stick to the shelf. I did not put a glaze over it, but it'll be fine. All right, let's see. This is a large egg platter, deviled egg tray, and I used ancient copper in the wells and textured turquoise around the edges and brushed around the wells in the middle. And this is a Western texture rolling pin that I used to put the texture in it. And here's the back, and there's my stamp. But I love the combination of these two colors. All right. One more piece and then we get to the bottom. All right, Santa Claus looked like he's been in the sunshine, but this is my Mississippi Santa plate, shaped like Mississippi, but it's Santa's face and his little hat. All these are stroke and coat glazes, and stroke and coats give a really pretty finish to it, a shine. I did not put clear over it because stroke and coat is a glaze. Here's the back. I did use a red underglaze on my name stamp and wipe it back. So here we go. So far the only mishap was the two that ran, and that was put the colors too far down towards the bottom. All right, getting down to the very bottom, last layer. Now on the very bottom, I only put one cone in here, one witness cone. I did a cone 5 witness cone just to make sure that it reached temperature. This kiln is always fired fairly even. I know a lot of people say it fires too hot on the bottom or too cold on the bottom. Mine has never done that. I know people say don't put platters in the bottom. I always put my biggest piece on the very bottom. I've just always done that. And never had a problem. All right, here's my little bumblebee plate. This is a bee textured roller. I did stroke and coats for the little bees. And this is not amber. Let's see, honeybee plate, ochre, Amico's ochre. And there's my stamp. Let's see, my little ring dish. These are stroke and coats colors. This is a pink that's sun-kissed, and then the white. And I didn't stamp this because they're so tiny. All right, here is the little flower plate. I did these in stroke and coat. I flooded the stroke and coat flowers and butterflies and bees. And I did the blue yonder around the edge. You can use any color that you used on your flower around the edge. It just kind of makes it pop. And then I used stroke and coat, not stroke and coat, but speedball clear over it. And the last piece is my biggest piece. This is my large Mississippi plate, and let me find it. Well, I think this is my mind went blank on this one, and I'm looking on here and I'm not seeing the large Mississippi plate on here. Well, sapphire float, that's what it was. That's what it is, sapphire float. I love the way the colors are on it. And I did do a Mako flux around the edge. But this is sapphire float. Here's my stamp. You see how huge this plate is. And that's everything. If anybody's local, I will be having these Mississippi pieces in the store on 2nd Street in Columbia, Mississippi. Within the next week, they'll be there. Just ask for my stuff. I have a good size display there. And if you don't see anything that you've seen here, let her know. She'll contact me, and I'll get it to the store, or she'll give you my information, and we'll get it to you somehow. Anyhow, thank you again for joining me in the mud shop, and until next time, thank you for joining me. Bye.